Okay, this is Guy Eagle again with the Renewable Wisdom Trails, Cosmology and Library. And we're going into kind of further discussions on crossing over, so we're going to call this part 2. And we don't know how many parts this is going to go because it's a really big topic. And you can break it down into the animal world and the plant world and the minerals. And, today we're kind of focusing on the humans more than humans of the animal world, because we have to address the imprinting that is currently out there and some of the illusions of that kind of imprinting. And we have to open this door, because we're at a time in our life on this planet that it's crucial. Got a lot of people in the 60s and 70s and 80s age range that are starting to question their existence. And I've been privy to be able to help a number of people in the crossing over process. And it's challenging for the families. It's challenging for the person going through the process. And it affects a lot of people. There's a lot of base teachings we haven't covered in these videos, because for the most part, these have been pop-up kind of videos for conversation starters. They're not fully a study, so we're not giving all the information. So if you're going to be kind of critical of that, it's not the medium for that. That's more privatized, because it's some very intimate stuff. We use the word incarnation. That may be a buzzword for a lot of people because it's not really used in a lot of faiths. But, being born is an incarnation. It's just that simple. If you're going to get hung up on semantics, we're not the study for you, because we have to get back to the natural world. We have to return to the interspecies communication, and that's what we're about. So let's open this up. So the first stage, if you want to call it, or phase, is the starting point. When does that start for somebody? The start of a crossing over era of time. And as I spoke in an earlier video, in our Anishinaabe languaging, we call an era a time called fire. And I like that, because I don't like to put an era of time that it has an exact measure to it. We don't know. But fire works really well in that, because we don't know how long a fire will last. A fire is a fire. It's got its own spirit. Anybody's ever sat around a fire knows that. It's got its own spirit. So whatever starts this fire, which starts this process, it's usually some kind of signal. For some humans, it's an accident. Maybe they give a terminal disease diagnosis from the medical profession. Maybe it's somebody else dies that's close to their age, and they realize that they're in a vulnerable stage. Maybe it's the kind of thing where you wake up in the morning and your muscles just don't quite wake up like they used to, and it takes a little stretching, a couple cups of coffee. Whatever it is, there's a signal that says, I better get my affairs in order. Now, there's a lot of legal hoops in the human world these days, and civil, religious laws that you may have to address. But in any case, what it means is it's time to start gathering parts of myself. So if I've got loose ends out there, maybe I got too much stuff. Maybe I better start cleaning the closets and going to the thrift store. Maybe I better start cleaning my garage. Am I just going to leave this for my children or my heirs, or maybe the government to clean all this up for me? Is that my retaliation for feeling like a victim of them? in some way? Am I trying to get back at them, or am I really just trying to take care of myself? These are the things I hear when people call me, because a lot of times they got too much stuff and they're worried about the value of it. But in the end, it doesn't matter, because the only value that you really take with you in crossing over is what you learned and what you didn't. That's where it comes down to. Now, a lot of people may try to find some conflict in that, and that's okay. That's what the human experience is about, is trying to find different ways to address it, because we're all a little different. But the gathering stage, the signals start. You prioritize what your values are. You prioritize what stuff you want to wait till the last to get rid of and what stuff can go. You try to find where the regrets are in your life, what things that you wish you would have did different, or somebody you would have wished you would apologize to, or those people that you want to tell them just how much of an impact they had on your life. Basically, there's a quality of intimacy that starts to creep in and becomes more important. For some people that have been all about themselves their whole life, this is a tough one. Really tough, because they're continuing to prove that they can survive with nobody else's influence. And for some that have been really human-minded, it's really easy, because the intimacy has never been the problem. Anyway, that's part 2. We're going to move on to part 3 in a minute, so please sit with this, try it out, see how it works. Have a conversation with your friends, your children. Have some fun with it, because it's a mystery. Oh,